Good morning and welcome to Smart Social Media Tips. How are you doing? We are here today just to talk about a really interesting subject, and that is social media referrals and how you get more of them. And I guess what brought me to thinking about this as an issue was I have been getting lately a lot of DMs and direct messages and pitches, and I feel like that there's something being missed there. And so I wanted to kind of bring that out, talk to you guys about it today, and tell you why I think that we can do much better. So if you are a person that's like, man, I'm getting pitched a lot, also let me know in the comments and let me know what you think about those pitches. I think that we need to be really clear and obvious about what we think about these pitches so that, they end. I'm not really thinking that these pitches are so great for us. So um, let me know in the comments if you're here and I will respond to you. But let me just jump right into the presentation to give you some information that I think is going to be really helpful for you and your brand. So if you are a brand that has sales, and I know that for on the social media side, I mean, we have this with our clients as well. There's a certain amount of selling that they want to do. They want to make sure that they have new clients coming in the door. They want new people coming through their programs, or if they have a product or service, they want them to buy that product or service. And so I get a lot of pressure sometimes from clients and others to get a better results for that, so get more sales coming through the door. And here's the thing, I do believe that social media is a great place to do that, to get more sales. But the problem is that those sales have to come through a little bit more, a longer timeline. So I really do believe in social media, the sales cycle is much longer. It takes you longer in the social media sales cycle, and you can accelerate it. And there's lots of really great ways to do that. I'm not going to really talk about all of those today because you can take them all the way into a funnel, have them download something, start sending them emails. You can warm them up that way. But whenever you're at the top of the funnel, as they call it, where you're just trying to get attention, I'd call that the attention metric. That's this, like me talking to you today. We're at attention level. I may catch your attention, I may not. And that's what this is about. And so that is your first level on social media, is putting that content, that video content, that educational content, that fun, entertaining content, whatever it is that grabs that first piece of attention. And at the top of funnel, that is not where you insert a sales pitch. It just isn't, because at that point, that is very uncomfortable for the person that is getting that sales pitch. And I've been getting them a lot. And that's kind of what kind of made me think about doing this particular episode, is because I feel like there's just a couple of things that, especially on the sales side of things, people are kind of missing out on. My background is public relations, so I come from a more relational kind of background, but I know there's a lot of pressure to get the results that you need to get out of social media, right? So that's something from the boss or something from your client if you're a consultant, but there you go. So the first thing, so I'm going to go through the 4 things. Well, actually, it's 5. It's a little bit of a 5 things, but I have a bonus in there for you that you need to keep in mind when you're going through these issues. So the first one is stranger danger. So that's what I was just talking about. Like when somebody comes into your DMs that you've never met before, that you don't know, and they give you sort of a pithy pitch about the one I get all the time is, do you need to bring in 10 or 12 more leads every month? People are pitching me to help me bring in leads, right? So they're like, you're an agency, you need more leads, right? Okay, well, I mean, yeah, maybe. But I can tell you that I would not want to be represented by somebody who approaches my clients that way. So that idea that stranger danger is there. And really, you don't want to open the door to these people, because it's like, have you ever heard give them an inch and they take a mile? That's how they feel to me. They're the kind of people, you accept them into your circle. You're like, hey, wow, interesting. And then boom, they hit you with a sales pitch immediately. And I am really, I'm going to say I have some issues around that. No DM pitching. So that's really the big part for me, is just, that in social media, whether you're in LinkedIn, whether you're in Instagram, whether you're in Facebook, whether you're in Twitter, and I get DM spammed in every single one of these for all kinds of things, like buy this, do that, from people I've never ever even seen. I maybe even don't even follow them, and they suddenly are, putting this thing in my inbox. So if you are there, that's great. So Bart says he agrees. Hi, Bart. How are you doing? So yeah, it's absolutely a big problem when people do that. So hey, Bart. So yeah, that's a big problem. Do not DM pitch. So that's my first one. So it's not really part of the tips. I would call this the warning sign. This is the beginning part. This is what caused me to want to talk about this. So the second thing, or really the first thing I had, is in order to overcome this problem, how are you relevant? That's really, really important to any person that you're talking to. You have to create a relevancy with your audience, meaning they have to find you interesting, find you something that's relevant to their life. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of people don't know what you do. They have no idea what you do. They may know you. I mean, I can't tell you, raise your hand if you're like me. There's a lot of people that I'm friends with in social media that I seriously don't know what they do for a living. Like I have an idea maybe sometimes, but often I don't. I'm like, okay, what do you do? Like what exactly it is it that you do? And the reason this becomes really important and is because of this what I have here. You want to be relevant to people. And so a lot of people avoid talking about exactly what they do because they're afraid they're going to put off people that aren't exactly in their niche. But the problem with that is this: even if I start to talk about what I do, for example, I have a social media marketing agency and we serve medium to large businesses with their social media strategy. And we also build capabilities. I often work with in house teams and help them to get better at what they do as well. So we are a kind of an add on to a bigger team usually. And so we can take all the different parts. We can write, we can do the graphics design, we can help them with video, we can do all of that piece on the content creation side and help them to make sure that that's strategic, right? So that I always was a little bit nervous about saying that because people maybe who is at a small business or they have another kind of a business would say, oh, you're not relevant to me. So, you might like kind of couch it like all the companies that need social media. And it's if you don't tell people exactly what you do, here's the problem. Then if something comes up, which is the next one I'm going to tell you about, you will not be at what I call the top of mind. So the point is that you want to be at the top of people's mind, and they need to know exactly what you do in order to do that, even if it's just for a referral to others. So they may not be that medium to large size business. They may be a very small business, but when they meet somebody that says, I need somebody who can come in and help with strategy on social media and like really integrate with our team, they're like, oh, I know Cami. And then, and then you will refer somebody to me like that. So it's important for me, even if you aren't my ideal audience, for you to know exactly what I do so that way I am referable to others in your network. And then if you do that over and over and over again, you have a webbed network out there that, and if you're in front of them enough, which is another part of this, and that is really like keeping that content coming, keeping it relevant. I talked about the earlier one. So that content that you put out has to be relevant. And so that people remember you and that you are at the top of mind. That's number two. Really, really important. Because here's the thing, even if somebody knows you and knows what you do, and it's like years later, or, maybe even only months later, and they come across somebody and they haven't seen you in a while, they may not remember that's what you do. So unfortunately, it's like, what have you done for me lately? That statement, that's really what we're talking about here. Okay, let's move on to number three. Number three is, are you positioned as an expert? And really what this means is, have you gotten in front of groups to talk about what you do? Have you gone and done a speaking gig? Have you, not everybody has to be a speaker. No worries about that. But have you gone out and done something like that? Have you written pieces like articles? You can do it right here on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn right now, you can write an article on LinkedIn and you can build yourself a group of articles that just show your expertise in a specific area. And then when people ask, you can send a link to one of those articles. It just really helps to have content. Or like if you go and speak at an event, or if you want to be a speaker, that's really good too. Get on a podcast and talk about what you do. Take the opportunities you can to be visible so that way you reach more people and that you show as an expert. So your expertise shows. So here's the thing. I know all of you who are listening right now, you're experts at something. you have an expertise in a certain area, whatever that might be. And that's really critical for you to continue to talk about that. And that in the end also makes people more willing to talk to you so that when you do get to the last step, which I'm going to tell you in a minute, that people are ready for you to give them an offer. But there needs to be a credibility building stage. And so the things we've already gone through, first of all, being relevant, which is the first one. The second one, being consistent enough with your content that you're at top of mind. And then number three, writing content that shows your expertise or doing videos that show your expertise. That's really critical. So when people need something from you, all you have to do is send them a link. It's really, really, really powerful. And then the last thing is really, have you asked? So in the end of the day, a lot of times we don't get a sale because we don't actually ask. I have friends that are really great at this. They, will say, "Hey, I need help with XYZ." And I'm like, happy to do it. My friend Anne, when she's doing a day of caring here in Houston in the September 12th, and actually DM me if you're interested in that. But she's going to be pulling together all kinds of nonprofits and companies to come together and do a sort of an expo so the nonprofits can talk about what they do and the companies can see how they may be able to incorporate some of their giving days into what the nonprofits do. It's a great idea. And so she asked me, can you share that? So here I am, I'm sharing it with you. So yeah, the Day of Caring, September 12th, 2020 or 2023. That is going to be an amazing day. If you have a company or if you're a nonprofit, let me know because you might want to be a part of this. So that's really the key is that you have a really great opportunity to ask people if you have a relationship with them. So Anne and I have a very long relationship. She's done stuff for me. I've done stuff for her. That's how that works. And as far as scaling businesses, scaling everything else, that's also going to be amazing. Oh, by the way, I don't know who Hi Cami is. Hi, whoever you are. You have to give StreamYard StreamYard, you have to give them permission to let me know who you are. So I think it's up in the top of the stream. It has an option. Anyway, so that is it. Those are the four things you need to ask them. And if you want to scale that, I was just talking about scaling. So you're like, well, that takes a really long time. I can't, build relationships, like one-on-one relationships with every single customer I have. You may have like a service-based business where you go and you fix somebody's, I don't know, air conditioning unit. It's hot here, so I'm thinking about that. And if you do a lot of that, then you're not going to be building these like personal relationships over time. Well, you are actually, because you're going to have a repeat business with those customers. And then guess what? If you do start having repeat business, so who are your best customers? And then you can ask them to give you referrals. So there is so many things that you can do to accelerate sales that don't include jumping in someone's DMs and hoping, like spray and pray, hoping that one of those will pan out. I got another one this morning as we were coming in. I almost threw it up on the screen, but I don't want to shame people. That's not really what I'm looking to do here. I just want you to understand that we are consistently getting these, and I guess a few people must take them up on it for them to continue to do it. But it's ruining the experience. And I do believe that the social media networks are going to crack down on it heavily. Like they're not going to let you DM each other anymore or whatever, because people are spamming through that channel so prolifically. So I would say if you're a person that's like, hey, I've gone through a sales course and they tell me to put together this really cool pitch and send it out to all of my audience through LinkedIn Explorer, or, I would not do that. I would put that away. And I actually responded to one of them once. I don't know. I usually don't, but I responded to one once and I said, no, I'm not interested. And then he came back and he said, why wouldn't you be interested in this? And I wrote back and I said, listen, I wouldn't want you to come on to any of my potential clients the way you just came on to me through this email, or through this DM in this case. But, it comes both ways, DMs and emails. And by the way, a lot of the emails are coming from LinkedIn. They're pulling down your email from LinkedIn and then they're emailing you directly. So I just told him I wouldn't want my clients to have to endure that. And so that's why. And he said, well, thanks for the feedback. I hope that stopped him from doing it. I don't know if it did, but I would say that, from a sales side, I understand they want to get in front of a lot of eyeballs and they need to go there quickly. That's what ads are for. Ads are really great for that. They're good for taking really good pieces of content and getting it seen by more and more people. I often will take one of these live streams and I'll run an ad on this live stream. So even if nobody showed up to the live stream, which I'm glad you did, thank you. Um, I um, I will use this as a way for me to talk to people about something I need to. So if somebody asks me about sales, I may send them this video. Or if I need to run a promotion around something, I might run ads to this video. So there is a lot of great ways that you can take content that you've already created and turn it into amazing sales engines for your business. But it takes time. It's not going to happen like overnight. It's not like a pitch and go. And so I'll give you an example of that. I have actually a really cool online free course that helps you with building your visibility. So if you're like, how do I come up with all this content? How do I do all this stuff? What do I do? I've put something together for you that does exactly that. And I'm going to change my screen here so you can see it. And I'm just going to finish saying the how to fix this problem. So number one, create focused content that makes you relevant to others. Engage more than you post. Be out in your social networks, engaging with other people. It tells the algorithm who you talk to and who talks to you. Really, 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 really important. Yes, Bart, relationship selling is a longer cycle for sure. You want to collaborate with your peers also, so that you can be at the top of their mind and they can refer you, and then ask others to refer you. Ask them to refer you or give you a testimonial or something. You can ask people for those things in a very polite manner. And usually they're willing to give it to you if you've provided value for them, if they've seen value in what you've done. So your current clients can help you with that, as well as people that have been around in your community for a long time. All right, so I told you that this is that pathway to mastery. This is mostly for coaches and consultants. It's really aimed at them. I mean, you can probably get a lot out of it no matter who you are, but this is a very quick 6-video mini course. It doesn't take very long. You just listen through it, and it gives you some tips on how to do all these things, how to become a connector and build your online presence and innovate with social media. So you could go to bit.ly. I'll open this up so you can see it very well. bit.ly pathway video series, bit.ly, bit.ly/PATHWAY video series. So pathway video series, all lowercase. It is case sensitive. So please go grab that, because I think you might really enjoy it, and it'll probably really help you out. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say today. I just wanted to make it short and sweet and come in here and let you know that there is a way for you to do better with social selling. And it has to do with building those relationships. And it sounds like hard work, and it is a little bit, but honestly, it's also super rewarding work, because you build a community of people that are really amazing. So thank you, Bart. And Bart is actually in my paid part of this course. This is just a very short, free taste of what the paid course is like. But thank you, Bart, for saying that. I appreciate it. All right, guys, take care and have an amazing day. And for those of you in Houston, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. We're having the social media breakfast of Houston, so you can grab that there. Also, by the way, this pathway video series thing, if you are having trouble with the link, I have put it in the description of this video, so you should be able to find it no problem there, and just click on it. So take care, have an amazing time, and goodbye.